Imagine this. You're a top-tier consultant. A client walks in. Their business is in serious trouble, and they've handed you a multi-million-dollar problem. Their star product is suddenly tanking. They're losing a ton of money, and they have absolutely no idea why. This is the world of high-stakes problem solving.
So how do you solve a business mystery like this one? With millions of dollars on the line and the clock ticking, you just can't rely on a gut feeling. You need a system, right? A structured way to cut through all the noise and find the real signal. The real question is, where do you even begin?
Well, let's make this real. Our client is a beloved toy maker based right in Delhi. And for years, their absolute cash cow, the product that always delivered, has been the classic Ludo board game. But something has gone seriously wrong. Revenue from their #1 product is in a total freefall, and they need us to figure out why, and fast.
And right away we get our first huge clue. Our client isn't alone. It turns out every major board game company is seeing the exact same decline. Now this is an absolutely crucial discovery. It tells us the problem probably isn't something they did wrong inside the company. The real issue is bigger, it's external, and it's hitting the entire market.
So, how do we start to investigate a mystery this big?
Well, like any good detective, we need a toolkit. And in the world of business consulting, that toolkit is called a framework. It's how we bring structure to the chaos.
For a case like this, our most powerful tool is the Profitability Framework. Just think of it like a logical map. It takes this big, scary, complex problem and breaks it down into just 2 really manageable pieces. All the money coming in, that's your revenue, and all the money going out, your costs. Simple as that.
At its heart, it's all about this beautifully simple logic. Profit equals revenue minus costs. Every single profitability problem in the entire world can be found on one side of this equation. By splitting them up, we can investigate each side systematically, just like a detective would rule out suspects.
And this really illustrates why this is so important. As former consultant Matt Huang puts it, a framework is kind of like the foundation of a house. If that foundation is solid, then your analysis, your insights, your final recommendations, everything you build on top of it is going to be strong and stable. Without it, the whole thing could just collapse.
All right, detective hat is on. With our framework in hand, the real investigation can begin. Let's start following the clues and narrowing down our suspects. So, we have 2 main suspects: revenue and costs. We already know this is an industry-wide problem, which strongly suggests the cause is external. Plus, and this is key, our client has already confirmed their costs haven't changed. They're stable. So just like that, we can confidently eliminate the entire cost side of our framework. The mystery isn't about the money going out.
So now we're on the revenue trail, and revenue itself breaks down into another simple equation. It's just the price you charge for each product multiplied by how many you actually sell, the volume.
Okay, let's check our first suspect, price. Did our client suddenly jack up the price of their Ludo boards, scaring off all their customers? A quick check confirms, nope, prices have been totally stable. So, price is innocent, which means by pure process of elimination, the problem has to be volume. People are just buying fewer Ludo boards.
But that's the real mystery, isn't it? This isn't about spreadsheets anymore. This is about people's behavior. Why would an entire country suddenly fall out of love with such a classic, beloved game? What on earth changed?
And there it is. That's the aha moment. The key isn't just what happened, but when it happened. Look at the timeline. Between 2020 and 2021, the COVID-19 lockdown. Think about it. Everyone was stuck at home. They couldn't get together with friends and family to play physical board games.
So what do they do instead? They went on their phones. Free-to-play online Ludo apps absolutely exploded in popularity, completely replacing the need for a physical board. Our culprit wasn't another toy company at all. It was a digital ghost in the machine that completely stole the market from under their feet.
Now, solving the case is one thing, but for a business, you have to quantify the impact. You have to know the numbers. So, how much damage did this digital competitor actually do? Let's find out.
To really know what you lost, you first need to know what you had. So let's say our client was making a pretty healthy 20 crore rupees a year just from Ludo before the pandemic. Then the lockdown hits, and the impact is, well, it's catastrophic. Revenue collapses all the way down to just 8 crore.
That is a staggering 60% drop in revenue from their star product. I mean, just poof, gone. This isn't a small dip. This is a complete free fall.
And if you look at it in absolute terms,
That's 12 crore rupees in annual revenue that just vanished into thin air. A massive hole blown right through the middle of their finances. Now we can see the true scale of this problem.
Okay, so the case is solved. The damage is assessed, but a client's final question is always the most important one. So, what do we do now? A good consultant doesn't just find the problem. They provide a path forward. It's time to build a strategy for the future.
Here's the three-part comeback strategy we propose. First, if you can't beat them, join them. They absolutely need to get into the digital space with their own Ludo app. Second, they have to diversify. They can't rely on one cash cow anymore. It's time to aggressively market their other awesome board games. And third, they need to create experiences. Partnering with cafes for game nights creates a social event that a phone screen just can't replicate.
But let's look a little closer at that first idea, because it's a big one. Is going digital actually profitable? A recommendation is totally useless without the numbers to back it up. So let's do a quick projection, a little back-of-the-envelope math.
Okay, let's assume a 2 crore investment in development and marketing. So, could it pay off? Well, if it generates, say, 1.5 crore from in-app purchases and maybe another crore from ads, that's 2.5 crore in revenue. After that initial investment, that's a net profit of half a crore. That's a solid 25% return on investment in the very first year. Yeah, the numbers show this is a smart move.
So just think about what we did here. We started with this huge, messy, complicated problem. But by using a simple, logical framework, we were able to break it down, find the real root cause, quantify the damage, and then build a strategic, data-backed plan to actually fix it.
This kind of structured thinking isn't just for big-shot consultants. It is an incredibly powerful tool for solving any complex problem. So the question I'll leave you with is this. What mystery in your work, or maybe even in your life, could you solve by applying a clear framework?